My grandfather told me one story, and that's why I always remember to write it down. He told me, everything that happens in your life is going to be on a paper one day. I said, what do you mean? When you buy your first car, you're going to sign a paper. When you buy your first home, you're going to sign a paper. When you get married, you're going to sign a paper. So every important part of our life, kind of we have to write it down. Why I don't write down those things that are motivating me? I don't have a boss. Nobody is there to tell me what to do. I have to figure out my own way. So that was the first time when I did a vision board. This small little task made me actually happy. The journey, not the destination. You can cut your hair as well, but if you're not a hairdresser, you might not look as the same as you go to the hairdresser. So the same with the real estate agent. You can find your own property, but if you want to see all your options, you want to make sure that it looks out for you. So becoming a real estate agent, it's easy. To remain a real estate agent is more challenging.
Hi Mark, very glad to have you here in our second podcast episode, because the first one was about nothing, and now we'll go deeper in a subject that you know, your life, what you've been doing from now, where you going, and what's the life of a real estate agent in Malta. Wow. How you doing?
Thank you so much for the invitation and being part of the journey for Kasmi as well for the second interview.
Yeah.
So maybe we can talk a bit more about than nothing in this time. but it was a really good video for the first one as well.
All right. So thank you for that. I'm sure we have like so many things to talk about. You're one of the first, maybe 10 to 21st people I met through the studio. We built the studio in order to meet some new people and entrepreneurs here in Malta, because as French people, we always hang out with other French people, and it was like a way for us to get out of our comfort zone. And I think today is like a good experience for you to get out of your comfort zone and recording this episode, right?
Yeah, and Malta, I think, is a good place for this as well, to mix with the different nationalities.
That's right. I think that's the perfect place for that here.
So
where you come from? Who are you?
Who I am? Well, I'm a father. My name is Mark. Let's start with my name. My name is Mark Molnar. I am a real estate owner, franchise owner for a real estate agency in Malta. I've been doing the business for the past 10 years.
Okay.
And sales enthusiast.
Sales enthusiast.
Sales,
right.
Yes. A father of one child, and I'm going to be a father of two very soon. At any day, my partner, she is pregnant, so by Friday, which means that in the next 3 days, anytime, I'm going to have a daughter.
That's funny.
So it's a really exciting time for me to become a father. That's another step in my life that I arrived, and it has changed tremendously my life.
Yeah,
as an experience.
And I think also the way you look into your business and the way you operate too. No.
Yes, it's more long distance.
Yeah.
When you don't have a kids, I was a bit more selfish.
Yeah.
And when I have my first child, I see a little bit more further, more what is with the next generation. Is it only about my generation? Not anymore. It's more about what we provide for the next generation. So
what they will get.
So your vision kind of extends for another maybe 100 years. What could be, what are the possibilities, what are the values that we can give to them, and what do I have to become to be able to give those values to the next generation.
Yeah. But do you think we have to go through this selfish step before thinking long term, or maybe that's something we, like for example with Julie, should think about like from now?
I think the vision is always there. It just the perspective changes. The responsibilities, because we have our own responsibilities when we are as a solo person, and what we're responsible for is to wake up in the morning and to do our daily work and what we want to achieve. But when you have a kid, then the responsibility shifts towards the person, and that is something that out of your control, it will still happen, and you have to be still ready for that.
Yeah.
So I think it's the responsibility shifts as well in life, and there's a lot of question mark that comes up that you haven't asked yourself before. So it's more perspective, I would say. Such as, do I handle the situation right in this moment? What can I do better? Am I, if my son, for example, picks up something, put the piece of stone that he finds or anything that he finds in the floor in his mouth, how do I react to that?
You always have to look for him.
I always have to keep my eyes there. If I just turn away, I turn back, there is something in his mouth. Yes, so you have to be much sharper than before for the day-to-day life as well.
What about time? Having time to spend with them and not like being at work like 7/7, 24 hours a day. Because I know as an agency owner, and maybe you didn't always been an agency owner. We can talk about that later. But how do you separate the time you spend at the work and the time you spend home to enjoy also the time with your child?
It set my priorities differently. So when I was working on my own as a solo, even as a real estate agent or without a family, I was more focused on the business. When I have my son, since I have my son and I have a family, my priorities has changed. My life is my family now. And the business is a bonus.
So before going to work, you will, for example, like bring him from school. What before, like you were like just waking up and going straight to work, for example.
So when it comes to timing, I have to manage much more my time now. Before, I could wake up at 10 o'clock. Nobody rings on me. What's happening? I have to wake myself up. Right now, it has changed in the sense that I have to organize my time to be able to manage more things. So efficiency has changed because my son's going to wake up sometimes earlier than me. Maybe at 6 o'clock in the morning if he sleeps in the night. Maybe he doesn't sleep in the night. Then in that case, I have 3 hours of sleep and I still have to wake up in the morning. Then how do I set up my day? I need to work on myself as well. So maybe I have to go to the gym. What time do I have to go to the gym? If he wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning, I have to be done by 7 o'clock in the morning. So I have to shift it an hour earlier. So by the whole day schedule, it starts earlier, ends later, and it becomes more efficient. So I had to create a better timetable for my life since I'm a family man.
Are you with this change, maybe more thinking about like who will do the task or the thing that are on your calendar or that has to be done by the end of the day? Or are you still like handling as many things as you can?
It's kind of, I have it in my head always that how I want to be assured that everything works. So you always want to be kind of control, but you realize that you have to delegate to be able to have more productivity.
To accept some time that can be done like not as good as you will do it yourself.
And lately I learned that with communication, with even more clear communication and more, let's say at work with more procedures, more protocols that we implement for a clear communication, it helps to delegate even easier because the understanding of everyone in the team is more smooth, the operation when we have a better communication and more structures. So it has actually benefited me being a parent in my business as well.
All right. I think you want, as an agency owner, that a client that talks with one of your employee or someone that works there has the same experience with everyone. It's like the same standard level.
To have...
Like just to keep like a great for the client who said like just to keep like a great picture of the company, and such as like talking to Mark is the same as talking to someone that works in the company, just to keep his the standard of the company.
Yes, and that's why I think it's more important to, as an entrepreneur, to write down your thoughts of how would you do it, and that is the one of the steps of becoming an entrepreneur, to share your thoughts of success, of how you achieve that.
And how sometimes if I compare it to my own experience, what I regret the most and what I'm doing now, because I learned, is to not having like taking notes in the past, because now I have to remember what I did to explain it better. And so keep this like white book, we call that, that you inside you write like every processes and the way you do every task to keep it standard and to give it to someone with the same quality and execution. And sometimes when you haven't done this task since a long time, it's so hard to explain, and you have to jump it back inside.
I find it as also very challenging, and you can never recall some of the memories that you have done. So what I did for this is to try to implement like a daily journaling, to write down my daily thoughts, because when I write it down, it somehow just stays stronger in my head than because you have millions of thoughts going through it every day. But when you write it down, you put an intention into it. So that's what helped me to take out more thoughts of the day and to have some bullet points. But if I'm going to go back, some of the notes that I write, I never even read my book. I just write them down, and I never even turn back to that. But at least I wrote it down, so I put an intention to it.
And maybe you'll be more able to talk about it if you wrote it and you started to explain, even if you started to explain to yourself.
Yes. My grandfather told me one story, and that's why I always remember to write it down. He told me, everything that happens in your life, it's going to be on a paper one day. I said, what do you mean? When you buy your first car, you're going to sign a paper. When you buy your first home, you're going to sign a paper. When you get married, you're going to sign a paper. When you have your first kid, you're going to sign the name of your child. When you divorce, you're going to sign a paper. So every important part of our life, we have to write it down. And I thought, why I don't write down those things that are motivating me, those things that are inspiring me, those thoughts that I have during the day.
Because those things help you achieve the biggest one when you will be signing for this.
To kind of appreciate as well the journey. Because we always go and we always work, and that's what happens to me. I forget sometimes what I'm doing.
Why? Maybe.
Yes, and what you go through. And at the end, oh wow, you reach a great level of success. And I just don't feel it. And then I have to like remind myself why. Wow, because the small little task made me actually happy. The journey, not the destination.
That's funny because in the journey you will set some goals, but once you achieve it, you see that it's already a standard for you, and you already have another one. And that's right. That having those notes and coming back to it like a year after or 10 years after helps you like sit, be quiet with yourself and see, check behind, stop looking sometimes like always in front, and just like appreciate what you have and what you got done now.
How do you remind yourself to appreciate?
How do
your journey?
Yeah, I'm not the best for that. I'm still in the competition. I'm still like trying to build everything. But what I can be proud of is like having this ability to travel and work from anywhere. And this is why. This is the why I started to quit my. I never had any job. I quit the school, and I started to work on my own just to be able to travel and be free. And just I when I left school, I was like I was already into work. I wasn't complaining about working. I already loved what I was doing, but I just wanted to do it wherever I want. So each time I'm like so much into it, or I have like so many tasks and projects and stuff in my head, so I can step back and still appreciate the fact that I'm actually in Malta. I'm actually like not where I came from the beginning, and I can go tomorrow in Portugal. It's the same. The business is the same, and the thing I will do is exactly the same. So this is the thing.
And let's say if you think about the story of the studio, how far you came with it, and you just started it recently.
Yeah.
And it's already been a success.
So
how do you see that if you would think that you kind of that we want to remind ourselves about the appreciation of the journey, not only just the destination, because we are sitting here in a ready studio.
Yeah.
And having the channel.
I always worked online through technical stuff, like web development is my basic, like that's what I do and what I learn and my first work. And like having this studio is like it's making more sense of what I do, because it's making it like touchable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it, such as like you with real estate. I think it's like we're talking about something that won't disappear tomorrow, and we can even sit around this table in this part of the project, and that's the thing I love.
You created a reality.
Yeah.
Out of
Maybe
the idea.
that's something I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. And then you have every day around you. You remind yourself, this is what I also try to do in my life, and this is what I try to share with my agents as well, that we forget what we're doing, why we're doing it, if we don't have the physical objects around us that remind us of what to keep it up. For example, just when I started as a real estate agent, and I realized, okay, I'm in sales. I don't have a boss. Nobody is there to tell me what to do. I have to figure out my own way. And what is driving me? And what is driving me, how can I achieve that? How can I remind myself that I have to achieve this? So that was the first time when I did a vision board.
Okay.
And I collected all the thoughts, the car, the watch, everything that I wanted that was important for me at that time. And I looked at it every morning because it was just next to my bed, but I never went actually there to sit down, and very rarely that I went there to sit down and really manifest. But it was there by the side of my bed.
Okay.
And 1 year later I went back, and I saw that I take this, I take this, I take this, I take this, and I was like, subconsciously, my brain was working towards these things, and I achieved them. And now I'm like, oh wow, I need to change the vision board to new goals right now.
Yeah.
So that's what reminded me. And I had one time when I was really, I think, in one of the deepest part of my life. I was emotionally a bit burnt out.
You found it again. Like,
and I had to find it again.
Yeah.
And I found it in this trick on how I can create for myself clarity, because I lost my motivation. I had the part that I didn't know what I'm doing, why I'm waking up in the morning. I had the rat with the wheel.
Yeah.
You have the wheel, but the rat is dead.
And money is not always the answer.
And money is not always the answer. That was more. I had to find the passion inside.
Yeah.
What is my new motivation? At the time I left real estate for a year, and I was doing something else, and I just couldn't find the motivation. So I wanted to create for myself a vision board, but I said, now I have to go a bit deeper, because I have to get it a bit more in details. And this is actually, I think, one of the best thing I have done in my life, that I created a vision board with myself, where I see myself in a career, where I see myself as a health, breaking it into points of, okay, if I want to reach this type of body, or this weight, I want to lose maybe 5 kilograms. What do I have to eat every day, every week? How many times I have to exercise? So I broke it down into day-to-day actions. Yeah. So I don't have to think about the big picture.
Milestones, and then actions to get to.
To make it smaller. To make it smaller, and those little mantras that kept me going, and I put it up on my wardrobe. So every morning when I woke up, I didn't have a small picture. I had a lot of pictures, like a map.
All right.
And that was, I think, one of the, to give me a clarity for life as well, a bigger purpose for business.
When I met Julie the first time, I was doing that too. Mm-hmm. I was like I was trying, because when I went into like questioning myself and why I'm doing it and where I'm going, I saw like so many mindset books, Miracle Morning or others, people telling you to start your days with cold water, to make your bed, to try doing your vision board, to do like affirmation in your head, to go and work out for 4:30 a.m. and I tried everything. And I said like, what I'm sure is that everyone don't do everything, but everyone they don't do like the same thing. It will like depend of you and the way you are and the way you act. But the best way to find it is to try it at least.
Yes.
So for me, the workout helped me. Vision board helped me too, and it helped me like clarify it and know where you're going. So I know what you're talking about, and that's quite inspiring.
I read a book just lately,
Yeah.
James Clear,
Okay.
about atomic habits. And when we create, they say, I judge you, or I see you not by your goals, but by your habits. That what you become. Habits is how we can change our identity. And as you said as well,
Yeah.
I started to do ticking boxes every day, how not to break the chain. Sometimes because it's difficult to keep it up. You know, it's, for example, you do cold shower. To change the identity, to become a new person.
That's amazing. You can score it. If you use
can
like
score it.
Excel or stuff, you'll get points for every action you do, and you'll try keeping it green as green as you can.
Because there's so, as you said, there's so many things that you can always try. But what works for you is, for everyone, is different. Someone can wake up early, someone cannot wake up early.
Yeah.
Someone can do cold shower every day, someone wants to do lemon water every day. Everybody has a different. But what I learned is kind of how to stack it in, at least for 30 to 90 days, because then you know if it's in your identity, you change towards this, you want to keep this up, or you want to change it to something new.
Hardest is to try having more than one habit at a time, because it will be too much, and try keeping it at least 21 or 28 days, they said, to start becoming a habit for that. So for me, I wasn't a morning person, but I became it. I wasn't like a runner, but I became it, and I will become it more than that.
What made you to become earlier, to wake up earlier?
Just discovering. I tried because I was working, and I always wanted to have like better result than yesterday. So I tried working on nights, just to see. I was productive. I loved it, but I lost every social contact. So I tried working on the day, such as usual. But each time I was starting my day, every one of my clients was starting in the same time. So I started to wake like 2 hours before, just to get my stuff done before every calls or stuff came in. And I started to wake up like 4 hours before, because I was like achieving more things, and then dealing with the actual flow.
And the tranquility of the morning feeling as well.
And then I adapted it, and now I can tell you like 100%. 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. is like I can get done a whole day in these 4 hours, and then I can go to the gym and do my other priorities.
I tried also the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah.
Every morning to wake up at 5 a.m. is still painful. I still can't get used to it, but I'm kind of forced to it. But the gym doesn't open until 6 o'clock, so before that I try to do some other things if I manage to wake up. But I'm still working on the 5 a.m. one.
You have some. I know Fort Fitness open at 5.
Yes.
And maybe Reflex 6. Yes.
I live in Sweden, so I try to find something close by, and they just only open at 6
All right,
o'clock.
I understand. So,
shall we go back to real estate?
I think we can go back to real estate. Just, I was wondering, just to make a link between that, is that you're starting to make your vision, but of course you wanted to improve yourself and become a better person and achieve more things, personally and professionally. Have you always been like that?
Driven.
Yeah. So then,
Why?
why you don't know?
Why I know?
No?
Why? Because in my childhood I started many things, but I couldn't complete.
Okay.
I started karate. After 2 years, my mom couldn't afford it. The class, my school moved. So I couldn't travel anymore to that location to go and back and forth. And I really liked it. And I missed it. And I felt like I was not completed. Then I started
And you always lived with
the feeling of not completed.
Yeah. And to get it done later.
Yes. And later I had a call, even when I started university, at the end I dropped out. And I didn't finish it. And I said, when I came to Malta, I said, it's hard. I didn't speak English. I didn't have any experience in real estate, in sales. I said, whatever experience I have, it's not going to work right now because I cannot express it. I don't speak the language. So I started working in a bar. But for the first 3 months, we couldn't find a job because we came in February. There was no really bars or places open at the time. So 3 months it took me with almost no money to actually survive. My friend told me, listen, Mark, I live worse here than at home, so I'm going back. I said, I don't blame you, but kind of I don't want to give up. You know, I said I give up. I had to give up things, and I don't want to give up this time. I want to just make it happen. So that made me put a drive in me to go as far as you can go and test the water as long as you can, and see how far you can go. So that's why I became a bit more consistent and stuck more on what I like.
And trying to improve, because like if the one on your right can do it, you can also do it.
And then you find the inspiration around you. And real estate was for me something that it brings a lot of self-development. It's from uncertainty to go into certainty, because in this business you can never know. You wake up in the morning and you have to generate your own business. Otherwise you don't get the salary end of the month.
And if you wait for it, nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen, no. Yeah. And then when you do it, you earn, but then you don't earn as much as you want to earn, so you have to become a better version of yourself. Otherwise, you always remain like that. Yeah. And that's why people, they don't stay in the business for a very long time, because they don't improve themselves to get maybe more strategies, better implementation, use more the past experiences, past clients, build some structure into the business to keep that alive.
Yeah. What's funny is that, of course, your standard will improve. So at the beginning, like I don't know, making like 2 grand was the goal, and then it became the standard. Mm-hmm. So it was unacceptable to have less than that. But I think it's the same for you say the one that started this job, for example, and quit. They didn't even check the surface of the job. They didn't went into it. And if you're still doing it like 10 years later and you still have things to do and to build, it's like I have this feeling comparing to what I do since like few years, that I'm still exploring it. Mm-hmm. I'm still like at the beginning of my job, and there's like so many things to do again. And sometimes I see some like new men coming up to this job and to what I do, and saying that they think they checked all the boxes and saw everything, but
there's never ending. It's never ending. More you go into it, the more you see that there is more possibilities.
Yeah, and the more you understand maybe in your job that it's not like a building or apartment business. It's like only human business with the one who wants his like own home or the place he will be living in, and for his like private intentions, and then it becomes human because like you have people that works with you, and you have to understand them, the way they feel, they act, and what they want, and how they will achieve it with what you've built. It's more deeper than
it's a business based on relationships. How you match the need of the person, whether they want to have the money to be secured and have the return on investment. Real estate agents, they're matchmakers with the owners and the client. They both have a need, they both have an idea, a wish, a desire, a step in their life, and you are part of the journey. And basically, you are the guide through the process to give a perspective of a real estate agent, so everything goes more smooth and more comfortable for the clients and for the owners.
And the right balance between those two too.
It's like you can cut your hair, as well. But if you're not a hairdresser, you might not look as the same as you go to the hairdresser. So the same with the real estate agent. You can find your own property, but if you want to see all your options, you want to make sure that someone it looks out for you for those things.
That knows the market and have been doing it since a long time, of course. So back to when you studied it, it was like you work in a bar, and then like a friend told you that like a real estate agent is the future, or you have to do it. How does it happen?
I always liked sales from my childhood. When I finished high school, I had one thing in my head. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I want to sign a lot of contracts, successful contracts, and whatever it's gonna be. Yeah. So I started back in Hungary. I was doing insurance, financial advising. And that's where I got into the sales to understand the powerhouse inside the office. You know, when you are all motivated, pumped up in the morning, you come into the office, you're warding each other, and you're just growing and growing and growing. And from that point, I met real estate when I was looking for a home in Malta, and I met with a real estate agent. He was at the time one of the best of his company, and he was very inspiring for me. I felt that there is if he is the absolute best, and I was talking with him, I said, what would stop me to become the best also in
What's the difference between you and him?
He was the best in Europe at that time.
All right.
And I said, okay, you inspired me. Maybe I'm going to start to do real estate as well. He said, yeah, sure. So I looked around, and then I got a job in real estate with my broken English, with the broken knowledge, even to know how to drive on the other side, because I didn't have a car at the time. Or how to pronounce the name of the streets, because in Malta, obviously, everything is in Maltese. You don't read it as you say it. So I had to, and that was the first time when I got into real estate. I went for an interview. I said to myself, I want to start real estate. I looked around Malta. I was walking. I said, I see most of the buildings are from the old history. I said, if I've been around the world. I said, I haven't seen any high buildings yet. I said, there is something that I think Malta, there will be a transformation here, because we have so many tourists coming here, so many people that they want to have a high quality life that are coming here. I said, this must be a change, a transformation time that is coming. And at the time, we didn't have Mercury
You saw
towers.
it 10 years ago. I think it was way different than now.
Yes. So that was already, I saw that everything is moving towards to get better.
Yeah.
And I said, how can I be part of that? I'm going to stay in Malta. I feel Malta is my home. How can I be part of the transformation? Right. How can I see those high-rise buildings coming up and maybe do real estate? So that was actually my inspiration to start, to see the future, if I have a future in this business, if the business had a future, and I saw that Malta is just about to start.
All right, amazing. How long have you been working in this company?
Well, I was working as an agent first. Then I opened my own company. Yeah. And just the last 5 months, I franchised the largest brand, Alliance, in Malta. So we started as real estate agent with an international company. I started.
It's recent.
No, it was back in almost 10 years ago.
Yes, when but like the franchise.
The franchise, it was very recent, yes. Yeah. So I ran my own company led by Mark. It was for 6 years. Okay. And then I looked for a little bit. We grew very well. We won several awards. We've been recognized by the locals as well, and it was a really great growth for me. And then I arrived to the point of seeing how can I go further. Where is the environment where I can see that things are moving even faster?
Yeah, right.
And kind of you become, when you're running your own business, you become a bit lonely. Sometimes, you're lonely on your journey. It's always lonely on the top
and blind on what you should do next. Yes. Because like you invent like your own path, and sometimes you make bad decision and you pay for it like 6 months later.
Yes, you need the inspiration. Sometimes you become your own enemy, and that's what I needed a change. I needed a shift. I needed to be around with like-minded people more. Okay. So that's why I joined into the platform of Alliance, and right now I'm surrounded with entrepreneurs, with the top performers of the island. Okay. We are growing, giving education to the agents. We have our own personal coaches. So we live and breathe real estate every day from every level. And and it shows actually on on the performance of the team as well. It has made a big change on in a very short time. So it's an exciting journey right now that we are on.
Do you think you are still contributing to building and seeing Malta evolving now? Is it still the same thought that you had like 10 years ago?
Yes, we are being part of it.
Yeah,
We are being part of it. We're being part of having those changes happen, because we are the one that we have. Let's say most of the agents working with me, they are all foreigners. So we have a lot of connection that we're reaching out and helping out foreigners that come into Malta, and eventually, people that live here, they want to buy a property because the rent going up. If you pay the same amount for a bank loan, you're paying it for your own home, and you have a better outcome. So eventually, yes, we are the one that creates also an interest for it, and we are the one that has access to these possibilities.
yeah, I see. Amazing. How did it like evolve in the past years? Like did because I see in Malta they are always building some new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So did the offer went like 10 times higher than before, and the demand too, or isn't like kind of the same than you have like 10 years ago?
No, I mean, like, the number of sales has been increased a lot. So right
Of
now,
agents?
of sales, of property
yeah,
sales,
sorry.
for example, and even lease as well. So there's much more property coming to the market. It has changed tremendously in the last 50 years, Malta. And the current sales, I mean, like, they're selling 15,000 properties. I'm not sure, wait, this number, I have to get it right, and we might need to cut here.
We'll do
if it's 15,000 euros, but I have actually the numbers.
We'll do a fact check if you want.
We can do a fact check.
This episode has been recorded at Cast Me, Malta's home for content creators. And you know what? You can rent the studio for your podcast, YouTube videos, shorts, TikTok or ads. It's time to take your video content to the next level. Book your recording slot at castme.mt. We'll take care of the rest.
So basically, the number of properties that has been sold in January 2017 was 1,000 in January.
Okay.
Right now, if I go and check in 2023, sorry, I can go in 2024, January, the count of the promise of sales in Malta was 1,460. So that means that almost 50% increase in property sales in the last 7 years. And if you calculate, for example, the average property increases per year is between 5 to 7.9%. Every year is increasing.
Wow.
So if you invest a property right now,
so the price increased, but also the number of
the demand.
Yeah.
The demand is increased as well.
But also the number of properties.
And the number of properties, yes. And as you can see right now in Malta, we don't have anymore just only the 8-10 stories. Now they build 33 stories. And then the next one just yet to come. The next project that's coming up in Malta. So if you're gonna be living here in Malta, you will see that Malta is going to change in the next decade. Yeah, for sure.
But I think that's always the thing that it's such as like Bitcoin. People who say, "Is this the time? Should I invest now? Mm-hmm. Should I buy? Should I wait? It will come." It was like 15,000 euros. Like last year, I will wait for this price to go back to 15,000, but it will never, and it can always go up, and you have to jump in the train now. Otherwise, you'll regret or pay the high price a few years later.
But they also say that it's always a good time to buy. It's better to buy, like Bitcoin as well, small every time, than to buy in when it's super high or to buy in when it's super low. So it's
smarter doing like it's called DCA, an investment like a daily. I don't remember how the meaning of those 3 letters, but it's like investing every month to reduce the risk of paying the highest price and having like a mid range that represent like the half, for example, of the highest or of the top, like reduce your risk.
Well,
But
I
it's
think-
not easy doing it in buying in property. You cannot buy it like 10% of it and come back and buy the next 10% in the next month.
And at least you don't lose from the property 50%
Yeah.
of your money straight away.
Yeah, that's right.
The good thing is that you can buy, you take a loan, you buy a property, and you have 5 to 7% every year. Your property price is gonna go up unless you also do some renovation on the property. Plus, you can do the rental. You can rent it out long term or short term.
But I think that's a mix of your own vision and mine. Like you have traders and you have people who invest for the next 10 years. And I think that's the same. The one who will invest for the next 10 years, I think he can like jump into the market at any time. He will see very long term, maybe 20 if we talk about like real estate. But there are some people who just like flipping the properties and they want to get the best price, but they have to know the market as good as you know, I think.
But they get informed by the time they're gonna go and see the properties as well. I mean, like Malta, if you think about Malta, it's been always a very stable market. If you look at the world economical influence on real estate, if you look at the US or in general worldwide, Malta never felt the same. Malta is an island. So here you're not gonna build another island next to it and to build more properties. If you want to build, it's very, very, very limited. And the local purchase power is very strong. So that keeps very, very local the market.
Yeah.
And is being influenced by the locals as well.
Of course.
Which of course being influenced by the incoming tourism and foreigners and the economic growth. But overall the real estate market here has been shown it hasn't been going down. It's been a seller market for quite some time now.
Yeah. It has also jumped in the past 5 years. I think when I hear people talking about like investing or real estate here in Malta, everyone says that like the price went like crazy up in the past years.
I remember I used to rent apartments for 350, 450 euros before, maybe 8 years ago. Right now, the average apartment in Sliema, I think for a one bedroom is 900, 1,000 euros. So the people that bought properties and they have the return on investment right now is a huge increase. So property, that's why it was always a safe option for people to go in if you have some investment.
Yeah, and I understand that, of course.
Mark, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, if you have an advice for people who is looking for an apartment, which advices you can get us to like negotiate, or if you are in competition with other people to get the same apartment?
Okay, so I would say if you are looking for a property in Malta and you're using a real estate agent to go and see, if you have the options to be able, if you have a budget and you have the options to see, at least go and see 3 options to have a comparison that you can compare what options you have.
Don't jump in the first one.
Don't jump in the first one. Sometimes the first one is the best. That's what people say. But I would say that always to be comfortable with the decision, that you know that you have seen your market and you know what you can get for the price, even sometimes maybe a different location, you start always with at least with 3. Then if the property is on the well price, in a good location, is wanted property, the area, and there's a high demand for that, in that case, people, they always need to be prepared that there is a chance of missing out.
Yeah.
So if someone knows that they want to move and you know that in one day maybe you want to go at 1, 2, 3 properties, to get an idea, to be just more comfortable, and when you feel that this is the right property, you can just straight away put the deposit in and then arrange the rest of the dates when you want to move in and the contract and all this stuff. So I would say that always be prepared because the market is faster than you think. And
way faster. I've never seen that.
And real estate agents, sometimes we just takes one phone call. This property is available. The next agent calls. Somebody put down the deposit.
That's the first place I see in my life where the agent never seen the flat, discovered the flat in the same times as you are.
But sometimes the agent don't have the time to go. Yeah. Something comes available. I had time when there was 11 people standing outside for the same flat.
Yeah.
Just waiting, just to get in. I said, I said, okay, that's now what is it going to be, a war here to find out that who's going to go for the apartment?
The first one.
And of course, that's the first one, or in that case, of course, the owner going to decide who is the preference. Do I want to have a family? Do I want to have a couple? Do I want to have kids? Some owners, they don't like to have dogs. Yes, or some owners, they prefer dogs. Some owners, they prefer not to have a pet. So it's very selected. And when you know that there is thousands of properties out on the market, from 1,000 properties, to find actually what the client is really always looking for. So if you would call a real estate agent, the real estate agent in the background, they would start to make phone calls. In our system, we're providing available properties to our agents, so they kind of have a better visibility on what the market is providing. Always they receive everyday properties available.
Like a search engine? Or
we have our own search department that doing the search before, and then we provide it to the agent, so the agent doesn't have to call all the time everyone, but basically they have the availabilities. But then from one day to the other, maybe 10-20% are already gone.
Yeah, I understand.
So when it comes to from the agent side, the agent is on the phone, burning the phone. After when you get a request, burning the phone just to find one property that is exactly has the two double bedrooms that the client wants, that accept dogs, that is good for the date, that is in the budget, that it's possible to bring it into the budget, because maybe this is perfect, but the budget is not there. So the agent is a mediocre in the whole deal to make sure that you get actually what you want.
That's funny. I don't know if I have something to say for that, because I think, and then you will tell me what you think is a great agent. Because on my point of view, a great agent is someone that reduces the number of human interaction as much as he can, because his role is to understand what I want, and not sending me like flats I don't want. So ask me the right questions on the first time, and being productive. Asking the right question, understand pretty well what I want, listing 4, 5, or 10 flats that's inside that's in my
search.
In something I want, and then going fast. I'm the fast and productive guy. So the less interaction we have, the more productive the visits are, and then we can see the best, the top 3 flats, and make a decision and going fast. What do you think? I think not everyone is like me, but there's a pattern between all of the agents you work with, and what are their qualities required.
I think every client wants to have efficiency, and that's what they expect from the agent. What worked for me well is how to understand the client is always a personal meeting. So it's it's a consultation, to understand really. If you tell me that the budget and the bedrooms, it's okay, I will search everything. But I will send you everything as well that I find just because you give me the criterias, and maybe it's not what you're looking for. So I always encourage the agent, for example, to have a personal meeting with the client, and understand what are the priorities. Because you can adjust. If you only just give this criterias for a search, but maybe when you meet with the clients, you understand that maybe they work closer to the airport. Maybe you have other options as well, that you can go different areas, or maybe you have an option that is cheaper. Maybe you have an option that is more fit for the demand of the client. So I would say, as a client, you do your search anyway. That's what you're looking for, right? When you start to think about, okay, I'm looking for a flat right now. So what am I going to do? I'm going to check a real estate agent's website. I'm going to see what approximately is in my budget, what can I find, and then from that, I like this photo, I'm interested in this property, I send a web lead. I send a message.
And none of the flats listed are available.
And then some of the websites, yes, most of the websites, they're not even up to date. They just have the properties there. That's why we put a date of availability. Right. So because somebody's looking from August, somebody's looking from 2025. Yeah, right. So it's kind of difficult to remove everything and then just keep it actual. So that's why now we have the search as well, that's for the date. But otherwise, yes, most of the property market is always out of the stock. comes in, goes, and it's in one day. So when you search for a property, or maybe you just call the trusted real estate agent that you work with, that you know how they work, and you just tell them over the phone what they want. They already understand you better because they know you. They met you before. So that is something. Yes, because of course you rented an apartment with me last time for 2 bedrooms. So what has changed now? Maybe I'm going to have a kid. I want to have an office at home. Oh, fantastic. So do you want the same with the sofa that you liked last time and with the size of terrace, or you want to reduce something now?
I think this is what's good with keeping the clients and having a first good feeling with the first experience you had together. This is repeat customer, and I think this is the way you guys all going, because like your clients, your clients will not disappear tomorrow. So an acquisition can be expensive, to get some new clients. But what's funny with this business too is that you can go from someone that you don't know the next morning and sign with him in the afternoon or the next day. It can go very fast as the market goes.
And that's what keeps me in real estate.
Yeah.
Of building always new contacts, because with our clients, I have many clients that I build good relationship with, and with some of them a lifetime friendship. And that is the most beautiful part. You always have to get yourself out to meet with someone that you've never met before, to understand them, to take them out, to take them around with your car, to show them the properties, to understand their vision. And it's sometimes it's the biggest investment, the first biggest investment for people, or just a life change, whatever happens in their life. What period they are just moving to Malta, they are separating, they are want to upgrade, they got a better position, they got a girlfriend, they got a boyfriend. So you are part of the people's life in this case, and that is always it's a trusted service that you need to provide. So that's why I say you can do it always online. Then you would be maybe the type of clients that, please, these are the criterias. I would recommend you, for example, to be specific with the criterias. So if the agent, they knows, listen, I know exactly what this client wants because he knows exactly what he wants. Yeah. But not everybody is like that. Some people, they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
They know approximately what I need, but they don't know what I can get for that.
Yeah. And your role is to put them inside boxes and know what type of client you have in front of you.
It's to go on a journey.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's a journey of going and seeing.
With each of them.
When I go and take out a client, it's always, even if an agent doesn't see the property before, the agent is there to guide the clients. Look, there is a dishwasher. Look, for example, the walls are double, or the windows are double glazed, which is actually better than if you would just use something that, the wind comes in. So there are a few points that the real estate agent job is to highlight what are those plus and minuses. For example, let's say be careful because there is some mold in the flat. So this that's, if the client mentions I have allergy, I want to make sure that you look out for those points that the client tells you that what yes and what no.
So
pre-select.
I have so many questions. We can have an episode that will that will go for forever. So I just want to ask one question is about like being a client, how to choose the right agent, and maybe the do and the don't between the one you have in front, because I think that there's I had some agents that told me the defaults of the flat, and I had some agents that went with me and showed me the same flat with the only thought, and for them the only target is to get their commission. Mm-hmm. They don't care about what you want.
Easy way to find out.
Yeah.
Ask the agent, what do you think about the property?
Yeah.
And then after the agent can tell you as well what I have seen, and they're gonna ask you what are the priorities, why. If you go see 1 or 2 or 3 properties, the agent has also an opinion.
Of course.
So they know, the agent, for example, what is in your price range. If there's any defects, the agent has to make sure that he sees these defects as well. So the experience, if you choose an experienced agent, will see more than the one who's just coming in. Because
all right. Even if he is discovering the flat, especially if he is discovering the flat at the same time.
He will see more details.
Yeah.
He has to see more details in the property to understand. Listen, the elevator, okay, is working. Is going down to -1. So the garage, you have the connected straight from there, not from the other side. The property. Look at, for example, the pressure. There is no pressure in the sink. Let's go around and check if there is a pump.
And then by the time you start knowing all the buildings, their
You never
defaults
forget
and-
them.
Yeah.
It's
right.
like you build a stock in your head.
And you also have the story of the one who lives inside. So
Yes, you know the neighbors. You know who lived here before.
yeah,
So you build this. The more you spend in real estate, more time you spend in real estate, it easier it becomes.
I understand, Julie.
Yeah. Can I ask my question?
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
your mic is on.
Huh? Yeah. Yes. My question is about people who wants to become agents.
Mhm.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty easy to become an agent. You just have to be freelance and work for an agency, but you are only paid with a commission, right?
Yes, agents, they only get commission, success based. Maybe that's why it's easier to get in as well, because not everybody is willing to do that.
Yeah.
So you need to have a willingness, and you have to have a mindset that you're willing to work for something. You don't know if next day you're gonna get it. If everyone can get into real estate, I don't know. We are pre-selecting the people who we want to have in our team. So there are certain values that we are looking for, of course, in people that you know that is this person going to make it in real estate or he's not going to make it in real estate. So that is a pre-qualification. We do 1-2 interviews with the person. Is that everything is starting from the mindset and the previous experience in sales. So becoming a real estate agent, it's easy. To remain a real estate agent is more challenging.
Of course.
So
That's why you have to jump from a good sales to a better person and to evolve.
A real estate
inside.
agent has around the first 3 months is when the excitement is up, and the third month is like a breaking point. Am I doing good? Am I doing good enough that I wanted to that I was expecting? And that's like a breaking point for an agent between 3 to 6 months or 9 months to see if they're gonna stay in the business or not. That's why they say 84% of the real estate agents, they fall out within the first 5 years.
Oh, right. I understand. It's motivation compared to
Is motivation, motivation,
or
structure,
determination.
and consistency.
Yeah, of course.
And you become your own boss. You have to implement systems. So how normally you would start as a real estate agent and become successful on your own if you're working with someone that you always need to have a coach, a guide, someone that is experienced, because if you want to start to
Save
play
time.
golf, exactly, you just save time. You want to play guitar, now, you want to play guitar in 5 years, because you can start on your own, but you will not play as the same as you have a coach that can show you the way. And that's why, for example, it's different to work with a company that has already patterns built up based on previous experiences. Those agents, they know exactly what to do, or they give them a good guide on how you can turn it into your own style.
It's like you've been working for a company, you got all of the process and the way you understood the market and the way they worked, and you said, I can do it myself, and I can be as good as them. And then you went as good as them, maybe better, and you said like, oh damn, that's a wall, and I don't know from here where to go and what to build. And that's why you switched to the franchise.
Yes, it's a journey of change. Changes needs to happen. So the changes is always, it's a must, and we have to change our mindset, because
But it's not easy.
It's not
sometimes
easy.
because like you're in your comfort, that's your routine, that's what you do every day.
That's why I said
we are the action takers, and we do like change, and we need it, but it's not easy for everyone.
It's never easy. We are the biggest enemy of ourselves.
That's right.
But we have to make the change.
Julie, you have some other questions?
Do you have
Mm-hmm.
on the middle?
Yeah, middle one.
Do you have some funny stories when you was agent?
When I was an agent, funny stories. Let me think about it.
Did you have funny stories as a tenant, Julie?
I had funny stories actually.
You have one?
I don't know if it was funny, but it was not funny for everyone. But in that moment when I saw it, it was a bit shocking, I would say. It's not funny. I cannot say that it was funny. It was more about, we saw an apartment that was rented out, and we went to see, and we realized that the apartment was built up and extra rooms with a gypsum wall to create more rooms for the property because somebody was renting it out. I don't know if it's funny because it's not funny at the end, but when we saw it, that somebody actually took how they restructured the whole property. And actually, I wouldn't say that it's a funny story. Because if somebody is, for me, it was funny to be honest. But I said, what the fuck happened here? I said, Jesus, I said, these guys, they built another 2 rooms into a 1-bedroom apartment just to have extra beds. The owner, I don't think that he found this funny.
Yeah.
when he saw the property. So, but I would say that, okay, let's see a funny story. Oh, that's a good question.
I have one funny story. I have so many stories with flats in Malta. Let's say one. I was living at the 4th floor of a building. You know, always in the flats in Malta, there's like a corridor where there's nothing. All of the restroom or stuff go inside here. It's like always dark, and it's in the middle of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like at the 4th floor, and my sink was stacked with the tube. It's a tube, yes, outside.
Like a drainage.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was stacked outside, but it was like 1.5 meter down my window, and each time I was like opening the sink, all the water was going down to the 0 floor and putting water inside his flat. And I had no solution to unlock it because it was too far away from my window. And my owner came up and checked, and he said like, "All right, I have an idea." Okay, let's go. And he came back with one of his friends that was so small and so skinny, and one rope, and he hanged him inside of
the shaft
of this like corridor, like
shaft.
Yeah, inside of this shaft, like 2 meters down the window, to make him like unlock the whole sink and stuff. And then he pushed him up, say it's fixed, and he said, "All right, that's funny." I was just arriving in Malta.
Health and safety.
Yeah,
100%. Well, if you mention these stories, I have quite a few stories when. Once we got locked out from the apartment when we went to see one of the...
You were visiting?
Visiting. And one of my colleagues, actually, we went to see the apartment. I was outside on the terrace with a client. And my colleague, because it was very windy, so the door in the apartment in the back was opening up, and we didn't want to avoid the wind crossing the apartment. And he just closed it. And I heard a click, but I didn't even notice that outside there is no handle. So I said, "Tom, did you just close the door?" I said, "How are we going to get in?" And he just looked at the door. He was a new real estate agent. He didn't know that actually there's no handle from outside to open the door. I said, "Okay." I looked at the client. The clients looked at me. So now what are we going to do? And thanks God it was a penthouse. So from the penthouse, there was another building that we could actually see, that we could access the roof to be able to get into the common part. Thankfully it was open, the door, to get down and to get out from the property. So then we had to call the owner to come with another key because we left the key inside the apartment as well. So it was a quite funny story, but luckily we managed to get out from the place.
That's amazing. It's almost 5. You said you have to pick up your your young boy.
I can leave. So, yes.
Thank you for today.
Thank you for this.
It was amazing to discover like more about what you do every day and where you come from, what you achieved, and what's your next moves. Where your because your franchise is brand new actually. Where are you guys like heading to?
Mm-hmm.
What's the vision board?
Well, my franchise journey is new, but the company itself, we have already 400 agents.
All right.
So we already I think the first, second largest real estate agency on the island.
Okay.
Within the past 3 years. So it's to have the strongest, best real estate agents on the island, give them the best training, have the best system that they can implement, and from my role onwards is basically help our existing clients, help the agents to take on a new journey and unfold the new reality for real estate in Malta.
Amazing. I saw you had like a strong focus on the agents, like making them better, training them more. You have a good location too, like Center Sima.
Yeah, a nice seafront office on the
yeah.
seafront. And yes, when it comes to helping the agents, I'm doing it internally every day. And I have a new project as well that I'm building on at the moment. It's going to be a new platform specifically for real estate agents who wants to learn more about skills, closing techniques, just in general topics for them to increase the performance and the work outcome. So if somebody wants to learn more about how to be a real estate agent, then there is a platform coming out soon that I'm building at the moment.
That's amazing. And that also, I think, costs you a lot of time to train some new agents. So it's a way for you to centralize the information. Will it be open for every agent here, or only the one that works with the...
It's open. It's open for everyone. So that's why going back to writing down those thoughts, as we started in the beginning of our podcast, writing down the things I have in my mind and putting them into blogs, courses, and more informative materials. It's gonna help also for me to live that, and for others to gain from that.
That's amazing. So, for the one who are listening, where to find you?
So we have an office on the seafront in Tower Road, Sliema 143.
Yeah.
So whoever passing by, they always welcome for a consultation, for a coffee.
All right. Then online.
Online.
You have like Instagram.
We have Instagram. We have Facebook. We are on all portals. Alliance led by Mark.
All right. And it will happen one day. I think it's one of your project, but you will be. So maybe follow his Alliance page.
Yes, it's Alliance led by Mark.
Our main
page, our main website is alliance.mt.
All right. Because we will have some, you will have, I'm like inside you will have some content for owners and clients, customers, to help them also like find some information about like the market and how it goes.
More informative, we're gonna go more into details and a bit deeper as well to have.
I think it's missing. Honestly.
Yes, that's what I saw as well. And there's gonna be more video content as well.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here, and
it was a pleasure for me. Yes. See you soon. Thanks for the coffee.
Bye.
Thanks for the
Cheers.
good chat. Ciao.